Hello and welcome everybody to the 22nd annual Wild Hair, a B-tier disc golf tournament here in Abilene, Texas. Quick shout out to our sponsors for this coverage, Course Fuel. You can find them at Course Fuel on Instagram, and Low Putt Disc Golf. You can find them at their website, lowputtdiscgolf.com. Thank you for bringing us over to the Wild Hair. Thank you for joining us for probably the windiest day you're going to be seeing for all disc golf coverage this year. I am AJ Cueve, joined by my partner, Mr. Darren Young. What's going on, man?
Yeah, I mean, a very, very windy weekend of disc golf. I think that the highest I saw was like 45 mile an hour gusts and pretty consistently 20 to 25 mile an hour winds. It's wild. And when you're playing in these kind of conditions, and you'll see this in the coverages too, you're not playing disc golf, you're just playing defense basically. And these guys, you're throwing all your overstable discs and just trying to survive, right? And so it's going to be fun to watch. So this is the second round of the event. So quick look at the leaderboard after one round. Emerson Keith on top at 2 under. Peyton Mansell right behind him, 1 stroke at 1 under. And then you got Giovanni Menchaca, Rudy de la Cruz close behind. And you see these scores and you think this must be a crazy hard course. It's just the wind. Emerson's first round was like 1030 rated, I think. So yeah, just a really tough course, especially in this kind of 1052. In fact, actually, was the first round. So let's go ahead and get straight into hole number 1. It is a 255-foot par 3, mandatory through the trees we're passing through right now, and then we've got water right over the top of this little ridge here. So you're going to see most players throw something overstable to land on the left side. In this conditions currently, you're looking at a huge tailwind left to right. So really they're wanting to stay left of the basket, but then you're going to have that problem putting into the wind. So just heard from Thomas Veal, the owner of Low Putt and the TD for this event. He always does a great job. Here comes Emerson Keith starting off with his galleon.
Oof, doesn't
a little early release. Yeah, and he did end up short of the mandatory, so he's going to be throwing just short of that left side tree with no stroke. And here's Peyton. And I think it should be obvious this dude played football.
Yeah.
Big dude, linebacker.
Yeah, the dichotomy between him and Emerson Keith is just
yeah, exactly.
Massive.
If I remember correctly, I think he played tight end. Maybe he can tell us that for sure. But
yeah. Look at that. Yeah, you throw your beefcake on this hole, or this whole round, really.
Yeah, and here's Gio. Like I said, he's only been playing for, I think he started playing in 2020. Not COVID though. Some coworker introduced him to the sport, and he's been crushing since.
Hey man, spread the sport. That's how you got to do it.
Throwing MD5 here on the first tee.
That's looking pretty good if it can hit the brakes.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Great speed control. Using the ground nicely. And then good old Rudy throwing a Thunderbird. Hoping to follow that line. Looks good.
Finish strong. A little. Okay, that'll work.
Yeah, it's fine. You can see how close the water is. Anything that gets out of hand is going straight in the water.
Oh, that looks a little too high.
Yeah, kind of like that. As soon as it hit that, as soon as the wind hit the flight plate, it was just gone.
Yeah, shout out to these players. That'll work for them right there. This is not going to be a great representation of their normal skill level. This is just about, like you mentioned, playing defense against the wind. I
mean, you can even this putt right here, you can see the flag there. It's 30 miles an hour straight in his face.
Interesting technique. He threw it upside down. Is that some kind of thing to fight the wind or something? I don't know that one.
Especially in those short putts, into the wind, and you might see this later on as well, where the disc hits the basket and then just comes out because it's still catching air. Whereas if you put it upside down, then it's not going to catch any air and just drop straight in the basket. So
interesting.
Maybe a veteran tactic from Emerson there. But immediately, we were 1 stroke away just coming into the round, and now we're tied at the top, both at 1 under. So moving on to hole 2, you got OB on this little golf green, and then past the golf green onto the actual disc golf green is the basket, water behind. I didn't mention this in the intro, but we are playing on a golf course called the Mulligans Golf Course. I guess I think it's called Mulligan's Golf Course. It's a 9-hole golf course that they've now been like repurposing into disc golf as well, or like adding disc golf to as well. So many holes have golf greens, here and there in the fairways. Gio throwing MD5 here.
That's looking pretty good. Oh no, he overpowers it.
Yeah, a little long. So he'll have 30 feet or so coming back into the
How do you even
basket.
gauge the amount of power you put on this? Because even if you throw it like with a noodle arm, the wind can just decide to carry it an extra 100 feet.
Yeah, it's just about stability, so like Peyton's throwing Zona OS here. And so just a disc that has no glide, so meaning like it's not going to catch any air, and then throwing at the right angle so it's pushing against the wind, all right? So Peyton's doing that really nicely, and he'll have a birdie putt because of it. Rudy going Thunderbird again.
Yeah, this is the bring your overstable discs and your ones, the ones that you don't mind losing, because
and
a lot of water on this course.
I think the biggest thing is just never exposing the flight plate to the wind, like keeping it fighting against the wind rather than with the wind. This is a Tundra from Emerson. Looks
Very
perfect.
nice.
Yeah, he's got like 10 feet, which is not a gimme, by the way.
Yeah. Nice.
Wow, Gio.
Let's
There you go,
go.
making me look smart so quickly. Gio, like that. I mean, that's 30 feet probably, and into the wind as well. But you can tell, like his is just like really nice spin, comes out flat. Like that's what you want in the wind.
Beautifully done. Good run.
Rudy, yeah, not bad. Peyton putting with a tailwind there, and
Was he
isn't
running
able to
for
get the
that, or
height
do you
right.
think he was trying to lay it up?
I think a really soft run. I don't think he was really trying to give it a full run.
Smart move, because either it goes in or it's planted right there at the base. So
Right.
Either way.
Emerson able to get a birdie and get a stroke back on Peyton to reclaim his lead. And otherwise, Rudy able to clean up his par. So no harm there necessarily. On to hole 3. The drone we're flying here is one option. You got either forehand to the left or backhand over to the right. And then this little peninsula here is where the drop zone is. So any OB goes to the drop zone. Otherwise, this green is super tight. So you got this big pond you're going over, and you got the fence behind. And then here's the basket. So this is, it can't be bigger than a circle surrounding the basket. It's very, very small landing area and tons of wind. So it's just a very tough hole in these conditions.
Yeah, very tough. You see a bunch of coverage there on the right, and you got the fence play right behind it, which is OB.
Right. Emerson going Draco.
Beautiful move.
Plays it perfectly. Yeah. Little roll under the fence, and he'll have a 20-foot headwind putt. And I try my best to share the wind direction. You can kind of look at the water and see where the wind's blowing here.
Yeah, and I
And
do.
Gio also going forehand.
Yeah. Oh, he's dry.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Yeah, he's good.
And I'm doing my best with the editing of this, ladies and gentlemen. I know hearing wind on coverage like this is like sandpaper against your ears, but look at his shirt and his pants. There's just shy of muting the audio. There's going to be some wind.
Yeah. Peyton going deflector.
Looks like a good angle. That'll work too. But he is going to be throwing towards the water there, you see.
And if towards the water and the wind, that's probably going to be another layup realistically. Rudy going to show us the backhand line.
How do you fight the greed of wanting to run that in the right move, I guess, of just playing it super safe? And oh no, he goes over
Rudy
the fence.
does go long, yeah. So he'll have a comebacker. No, I think drop zone. I'll take it back. So he'll have this first par.
Oh my
Wow!
Let's
yeah,
go.
hitting cage from like 150 or so. But now he's got that to come back for his bogey, which is unfortunate.
Woo. With the wind rider.
That's the thing. Like literally, that you kind of got a little lazy with that one. Smart from Peyton, just to lay up. But you get a little lazy, and now the disc is putting you at 15 rather than like 5, and that matters.
I'm sure in his head he's like, I'm gonna throw it like 15 feet ahead of me, and then the wind just pushed another 50.
See, even that, like those extra 2 little wobbles, it doesn't make that putt a gimme coming back.
Yeah, he is throwing directly against the wind. Oh, that's
what I'm talking about.
that's
right?
mean.
I mean, he hit from what it seemed to be pretty centered, but the wind just pushes it. It hits the chains and just pushes it right back out.
I mean, what
And
can
there's
you
Gio.
do? It's just the physics at that point.
I mean, the upside down technique, but he was kind of far for that. I mean, short of like throwing a driver, so it just has, more willingness to go to the ground, maybe. I mean,
shout out to all the players who, this is not a fun day of disc golf.
all the players. I mean, this is a full tournament with 120 players or so that everyone showed up, and
this is the
no one had
lead
fun.
card. Imagine being on the bottom tier and you're still showing up. That's shout out to all the players who still showed up to play in this.
So a couple of pars from our leaders, and overall we're at even par for the top three for the round so far. So we're right where we started. Emerson still with the lead at 1 stroke, and then Gio back by 5. Rudy just took a double in the last hole, so he's back by 4 to Gio. So we're starting to pull away of the top 3 and maybe the top 2 as well. Still, I mean, it's the wind. It's 30-mile-an-hour winds, so anything can happen. And there's plenty of out of bounds on this course, so plenty of strokes to be gained or lost. Moving on to hole 4, a longer par 3 as compared to the previous. Again, as you notice, this golf green coming up to the left, that is OB all on it, and then the fence line to the right and beyond. This wind direction from here is going to be from the left of the screen to the right, and it, again, very much ripping. So you're going to see some backhands trying to fight against the wind, or maybe some forehands that, you got plenty of space left to right, so you can hang it out wide and let the wind just push it to the basket. It kind of just depends on your preference, but this one is definitely gettable for these guys. They've got plenty of distance they can throw forehands or backhands as far, no problem. So here comes Emerson with, I believe this is a destroyer, and he's going to go for this wide forehand look.
And look how far he threw that, and it's still swinging super
And he
hard.
still ended up right at the basket too, right? Like
the mental math is insane.
And here comes Peyton going forehand as well with his Firebird. I do think I find it interesting that they both went forehand.
Ooh, that
here
looks
because,
really high.
It's just lifting.
Oh, thank God. There's
Straight
using the
into
fence.
the fence.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, I feel like in that moment, like as he's releasing it, the wind's pushing it right out of his hand, and so it's just changing the angles of release.
Gio with a backhand here.
Yeah.
Almost takes you out.
He's got a similar putt to the one he made for par a couple holes ago, so definitely, I mean, similar wind, similar distance.
If the hole gives you a backboard, I guess use it, because these guys are all just like drilling the fence, and that'll surely stop it, right?
Rudy going back in as well.
And you see the way it bounced.
And he does end up on the green. He's going to be out of bounds.
It hit the ground and then still got pushed to the right. That is insane.
I think it's funny about this course is that it's hard probably in normal conditions. 6 or 7 under is a pretty good score on this course in normal conditions. And so in the wind, it's like every birdie is great. Every par is going to feel like a birdie, and bogeys are going to be pretty normal. Here's Gio, like we talked about, from 25 or so.
Yeah, this really is the day, as I mentioned before, trying to fight the urge to run it versus playing it safe. I guess this really is the day of just swallow your pride, play the boring game, play it safe.
Gio just short and just hit the top rim.
If he
top
can
up
hone
the rim.
in the way he spin putts, he's made for the wind.
Peyton, more of a pitch putter, but in Peyton's case, he just needs to find the tailwinds, right? He needs to make sure he's landing on the tailwind side of the basket, so his pitch putt can stay above the rim and go in. It's just hard to putt into the wind in that method. Emerson with a nice tap-in birdie. Yeah, that's, again, any birdie is great today. On to hole 5, the first par 4 of the course. It's only 470, so a shorter par 4, but it is absolutely warranted in terms of the difficulty. So this first, you got OB right with the flags, OB left with the pond, and it slowly tightens the closer you get to this golf green ahead. The golf green itself is out of bounds, so you'll see most drives land around here. It's like 350 to get to here or so. And then once you get past the golf green, you've got, again, left side is safe near that tree and the water. Right side, there's a little bit of safe area, and then a really, really tight green. So you're talking like 15 feet on any side of the basket. So very, very tight. And the wind pushing straight towards the water, it just requires very good control. So the same thing here. It's only 470, but birdies are great. This is pretty smashed from Emerson.
Is that where
almost
you're
gets
wanting
to the
to
golf
land?
green?
Where's the play, you think? Like, where are they trying to land?
I think as close to the golf green as possible. I don't think anyone's trying to get even with the golf green. I think that would be pretty unwise to try to land on those little strips. I think just as close as you get to the golf green is ideal. So just staying in control. On this hole, the wind is moving from right to left. So we've switched directions, and everything's pushing to the right. So that's why you see these guys throwing forehands to try to counteract the wind.
Oh, no, a little low.
Yeah, Gio didn't get that quite high enough, and just straight into the ground. Rudy also going forehand.
Oh, same kind of move. Oh, stop rolling.
Yeah, same problem there. So he'll have, 360 or so probably to get to the green from here. And it looks like he's going for it.
I mean, at this point, throw a disc that you don't mind getting wet and just go. Slow down, slow down.
It's just the wind. Maybe on a calm day that could stick, but with the wind helping that too, it's just never going to stay. Oh, Gio also going for it. The same
Please
problem.
Slow down.
Oh, but he hits the tree. Yeah.
We gotta
he's
get
able to stick.
We're gonna get a wet disc counter. How many discs have we lost? I think
Gio lost one earlier. Peyton stands up and rolls.
And that one's wet too. So we're on
Emerson,
2 on this hole alone.
Emerson's just watched Peyton go out of bounds. He's got it correct. Nice touch.
So touchy. Yeah, that's... Oh, please stop rolling. Please stop.
And that one did stay in. That one was about 1 inch from the water's edge. So fortunate for Emerson to be able to stay in bounds. Oh,
let's just count the blessing that it stopped rolling.
Peyton,
you can just see, look at the way the wind is ripping at the water behind them. He's throwing towards the water. The basket's on a peninsula, so it's just water all around.
Emerson now, this is for his birdie. With the 3 feet off the water's edge, got to the top and able to capitalize on the birdie, which is absolutely huge. And also considering Peyton just took a bogey, so 2-stroke swing, he's now got a 4-stroke cushion. Again, considering the conditions, that's 4 strokes can be gone in a hole, but he's got that regardless. So on to hole 6. The only OB on this hole is this river in the middle of the fairway, and then the mandatory left of that pole. So basically, it just means everyone's going to be throwing backhands to fade into the screen. So you're going to see a lot of fairway drivers like Firebirds, Felons, those kind of things, kind of pushing against the wind because we have turned around. So now wind coming from the left of the screen onto the right. This is Emerson's Destroyer, I think. Gets the good angle, pushing back against the wind.
Got a lot of good fight, and it smashed the tree, it looked like.
Yeah, it was looking good. Just hit that last branch there.
Yeah, he's in a good enough position right now. Just take your time. That's the fact that he's within that close to the basket off the tee is how you maintain the lead in these conditions.
Peyton not able to fight the wind quite as well with that disc, so
it's a long
fades out, and he's going to have probably 80 feet or so to the basket from there, 60-ish. I was talking to some people before and after the round, and someone compared this course to Fountain Hills. I don't know if you're familiar, AJ, or not, but
I am not.
Fountain Hills is a course in Arizona that is just tons of out of bounds everywhere. Water out of bounds, a massive fountain in the middle of one of the ponds, and it's just a lot of open shots, but a lot of out of bounds. And I think this is a fairly good comparison. There's not a lot of trees to hit or miss on this course, but plenty of challenge when it comes to like the flags and the greens and the water and everything else. So if you're a disc golf fan, then this is, it's maybe something you can draw a comparison to.
Smart move. Look at the
That's super good touch from Peyton.
It really is. Yeah, I feel like disc golfers, you hear the course is a ball course, and your heart goes, oh, great, so we're just going to be throwing bombs. And no, this course managed to take a ball course and make it extremely technical, punishingly so, in the best kind of way.
Yeah. And also, just a shout out to the owners of Mulligan's too. Like, they've done a great job with the golf course itself. Like, the greens look great. Gio, that is not what you want to see. You putting in the tailwind, and now it comes back to this 25 back into the headwind. But yeah, the owners of Mulligan's have really embraced disc golf and kind of transformed this property into something that is, I think someone called it West Texas Top Golf, basically.
Yeah, right.
So they got a nice driving range and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a cool place to hang out.
Yeah, nice little sports bar inside. After you're around, you go and cool off, get a drink. Really cool place.
Absolutely. Emerson able to get his par. This is Rudy's par as well, I believe.
There you go. That's the move. Just drill it straight into the heart.
It's just nothing. Like, when talking about mental game, in these kind of days, it just, there's not any time you can take a break. It just, every shot, whether it's a 50-foot approach shot or a 10-foot putt, you're still like stressing. But looking at the quick leaderboard updates, Emerson maintaining his 4-stroke advantage through 6 holes, and Peyton extending his lead on third by 7. So quite a bit of separation of the top 3, or at least the top 2 compared to the rest of the field. So unless something changes, we're probably looking at a 2-horse race. It would take something pretty drastic for a Gio or the rest of the field to come back. But
you mean like 50-mile-an-hour winds?
That could do
drastic.
It. On to hole 7, passing over another golf green. It's right next to the tee box, so probably shouldn't come into play, but I guess it could. Otherwise, the only out of bounds is the water on the right side, this little creek on the right. This one so far, probably the most simple in terms of the holes we played so far. Really nothing aside from the water on the right that comes into play. And it is close, but these guys are going to be smart enough to something overstable, fight against the left to right wind. And this is definitely one that, if of holes we played so far, probably one they want to get a birdie on.
For sure. And shout out to Heath, our drone operator, for doing his best with these wind conditions.
I believe this is Emerson's Hornet. And
interesting
smart
play
from Emerson, just to again, he's trying to never let the disc get turned over and not let the flight plate get exposed, but he didn't quite release at the right time, I think. And, he's going to have 50 feet. I believe this is Peyton's Firebird again.
That's looking good.
Yeah,
that's ideal.
Perfect. Should be probably good enough for Peyton's first birdie of the round. Likely to get a stroke back if he makes that on Emerson.
Yeah, and the wind has not died down, so this is still, look at the flag on top of the basket. This is very, very well done. The angle was great. Power was great.
Yeah, that's the whole idea. Just throw something to fight the wind and let the disc slow down, naturally, and he's going to get a birdie because of it. Here comes Rudy again with his Thunderbird. That looks great, too.
That looks perfect, too.
A similar distance, but into the headwind, but should be also good enough for his birdie. Similar idea to Peyton's, maybe a little lower, a little flatter, but just kind of working against the wind the entire way. Throwing something overstable enough to, to fight against it, and yeah, 10-footer.
I guess, would you rather be putting towards the river on a tailwind or away from it with a headwind?
It's an ultimatum I won't engage with.
There you go. You're lucky to
I would
be
rather
there
be putting
either
from
way.
5 feet.
Yeah.
There's Gio's FD3.
Look at that.
Also looking great.
3 different techniques getting inside the circle.
Yeah, all similar ideas. Gio kind of throwing flat and letting the wind push it. A little bit different idea than the rest, than Rudy or Peyton, but a similar result. Gets that one skip and nicely gets a counter skip because of the wind and pushes it towards the basket. So we got 3 within 10 feet, which is just miraculous on a day like today. Emerson doesn't even opt to give any kind of run on that one.
No, he's got a very cushiony lead that he just take the smart play, let them play the risky ones.
Gio jabs it in, gets his birdie. And this is the one that I'd be worried about.
For sure.
Rudy, clearly not worried at all, walks up. True professional.
Probably the right move. Just don't think about it. Just like, I'm going to make this putt and drill it, because the second you try to do the math, it's just going to go wrong anyway.
Peyton with the exact kind of birdie you want. This little drop in, and Emerson tapping in his par. So 3 birdies. Yeah. A solid from our card, and Peyton and the rest of the card bring it back. Bring back a stroke on Emerson. So going now into hole 8, this is a triple Mando hole. So you got Mando both trees on left and right, and then under the flags. And the wind is coming from the right, so you're going to see a lot of forehands counteracting, pushing against the wind, and the basket is right behind this tree in the distance. It's only 300 feet, so all these guys can reach it with their forehands. The problem is just going to be trying to stay under the mandatory while staying high enough to not catch up early. So it'll be a challenge of keeping your angles consistent. I believe this is Captain's Raptor from Peyton. That looks
Very
good.
Low, yeah. That'll work though.
And
maybe a little shyer.
Didn't
than
get
you
any
wanted.
skip. I mean, yeah. I think he threw it almost exactly how he wanted to. Like,
yeah, just didn't get the push.
Yeah, and just hit some long grass, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Rudy, just a little higher. I think it was great. Good correction from the forehand a few holes ago. Gio going at FT3 again.
Oh, hit the
early release.
Chain, but it's rolling. Forehand roller, that's the move. We'll take it.
That rolled. I think he's got the best drive of the group.
Yeah. Look at this.
Oh,
what?
This is mean-spirited. A replay of a shanking of the fence and roll.
It's all okay. Tactical, baby. Look at him.
This is the best slow motion we'll have all season. Thank you, Gio.
He's happy about. I'm sure. Hey, he's like. It sucks that he didn't mean to do it, but he's happy with the results at this point.
For
take
sure.
what you can take.
Emerson going Draco. Yeah, same problem. Just not able to get the height right. So
yeah, that triple Mando's rough. That's why. Forehand cut. I'm telling you, roll it.
And those of you guys that are familiar with Emerson's game of the past, that's actually the Justice. Oh, I don't know if it's the exact same Justice, but similar to his the Boston Bruins Justice used to throw a lot. So nice throwback for those that are familiar. Gio should be able to get up and down from there, or I guess just down.
Yeah, that hanging trees.
Just enough in the way, right?
Mm-hmm. Just low enough to screw them up, but just big enough that they can't go too high over. So yeah, good move by Peyton.
Gio taking no time.
Oh no, and the tree sends it back a little.
Yeah, he'll have 35 maybe. Doesn't even worry about it.
Move. He just waltzes up like, you think I'm going to run that out of your minds?
Nice par from
Nicely
Rudy.
Done.
Aside from a couple of bad holes, Rudy's played pretty solid. I mean, he's had some pretty unfortunate luck on the putting green. But, I mean, I think it just comes down to placing your disc, doing your best to end up on the side that benefits your putting stroke the best, right? So if you're Peyton, be on the tailwind side. If you're Gio, probably on the headwind side. And I think Rudy has found himself on the wrong side of the basket a lot, I guess, is what I'll say. So moving on to hole 9, 300-foot par 3. We are still in the same direction, so wind coming from the right. You got a golf green right behind the basket, probably within 20 to 30 feet, and then you got the water to the left. Otherwise, fairly wide open. So on normal day, this is just any mid-range or over-stable fairway driver. Throw it any way you want to, and you're good. In these conditions, it's fighting against the wind with a forehand or hanging it way out wide of the backhand and trying to spike it near the green. So Peyton's taking the forehand approach.
Smart move. Yeah,
again, fighting the wind.
Trying to dunk your disc in the river.
Yep. Works back enough.
That'll work. I mean, he's got a putt, but that's...
Again, on the headwind side, right? And we've talked about Peyton's putt where that's going to be tough for him to attack the basket from there. Rudy
Going
hanging out
real
wide.
trying to do the math. Oh, a big old skip. And another one bites the dust.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think it landed on the right side of the basket and just got a really unfortunate skip. You know, because the grass near the green is pretty grabby, so just surprising to see it skip so much.
You're going
Emerson.
real wide with it. And did we lose an and another victim?
Yeah, and that Emerson, that's crazy to me actually. Like, yeah, he throws overstable stuff, so I'm not able to fight. Gio making
He throws
a huge
it
correction.
over the right side. He's like, I'll calculate. Look at that huge skip.
Yeah, I think he saw Rudy's and thought, I'm not making that mistake.
Yeah.
From like 45 probably first birdie.
That looks good.
Yeah, not a real.
The wind just, took a hammer to it, but that was good.
Emerson going up upside down putt.
Very good run. Obviously, bit left, but I mean, be happy it didn't roll away.
Sure. Great run from Rudy.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't ask for much more than that. Like hitting metal high, that's pretty solid. Peyton from 20 feet.
Easy wind. There you go.
And okay. But that's tapping his par, and Emerson's going to be getting bogey here, so still getting a stroke back. Bring the lead down to 2.
Yeah.
Jeez, even from that distance.
The wind almost took it through the chains. Yeah, that's just heartbreak. You see, Rudy has the pole in his hand and putts with the other. He's got to go. Like, let me make this putt real quick while I try my best. Whoever, if you got some scuba gear, some goggles, and a snorkel,
make some money after this
make
event.
some real money
Oh
after
my
this
gosh.
tournament.
So that's 9 holes, and we're basically where we started. Emerson Keith with a 2-stroke lead over Peyton, 1 under for the round so far. Only other high scores on the course so far: Charlie Moore at 1 under, Albert Bravo at even. Otherwise, this course is tearing people up. I should say the course, but the wind is tearing people up. So we'll see how it progresses into the second round, into the second 9. Likely a 2-horse race. Gio is still on the outside edge of in contention, depending on how the wind plays out.
For sure. So be sure to join us in the back 9 of the 22nd annual Wild Hair here in Abilene, Texas. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to support Player 4 Productions, do all the good things, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at Player 4 Productions. If there is an event that you want us to come and cover, you can contact us at productions.player4.gmail.com, and we'll see you guys on the back 9.